This is going to hurt a lot. Ken Ham was right. A number of years ago, Mr. Answers in Genesis, that's what he likes to be called by his family, a little odd in that way. He wrote a book called Already Gone, talking about high school kids. You and I have a tendency to think our kids, they're going to youth group, they're safely nestled in the security of an evangelical family, but then they run off to the big bad wolves at university, and that's when they lose it. Nope, they're already gone. High school kids are already wandering away from the faith that they probably don't possess in the first place because they're getting hammered by secular humanism already. The other night, went to a local church to watch a preview of Road Trip to Truth. This is our 13-episode series aimed at the youth. We thought it was to prepare them for the arguments that will be presented to them at university. Boing! Ken Ham was right. Oh, that hurts. They're already getting hammered in high school. We sat and watched a preview of one episode of Road Trip to Truth, and I learned two things. It was clear that the kids are already getting slammed by bad secular ideologies. The questions they were asking clearly indicated they're getting thumped already in junior high. Mom and dad, don't think for a second that somewhere, somehow, your kids are not exposed to anti-Christian ideologies. They are getting drubbed relentlessly, and we need to get on it if we're going to keep them from notoriously backsliding. Lesson number 2, wow, these kids are smart. I was watching these young people at a youth group. They were asking questions that were probing and insightful, and they were watching a presentation on didactic profundity. I'm not kidding. We were talking about didactic profundity. From 6th grade to 12th grade, these kids, they got it. They knew what we were talking about. They're not dum-dums. They are plenty smart, and they can consume big ideas. After all, they're being taught them all day long in schools. Why are we doing the same? Why aren't we treating our kids like they've actually got some gray matter? So many youth groups, they're filled with whipped cream, pizza parties, and peanut butter. But we're not talking about the big ideas that the world is already talking to them about. Would love to beg you to please consider, get this resource and show it to your youth groups. They can handle it. We were talking about the internal contradictions of holy books. We were talking about reality itself, the law of non-contradiction. And the kids were like, oh, when are we going to get some Reese's peanut butter cups, man? No, they were digging it a lot. Our kids can get big ideas. And I was shocked. I thought, well, maybe 6th grade is a little bit young for this sort of material. They sat and listened, and they were able to understand that truth is not based in fiction or in ideologies that societies concoct and agree upon. No, reality and truth, they go hand in hand. We can know what truth is by observing reality and how it functions. Kids were confronted with the idea that A cannot equal B and not equal B simultaneously. And they were introduced to the idea that Jesus Christ, while it is an audacious claim, has the right to make the claim that he is truth. Kids aren't stupid, and they can get big ideas. While after all, they're already being introduced to really big bad ideas in junior high.
When it comes to how life began, the most commonly held belief is that we got here through evolution, a process that happened by chance, a chance that's so small and so improbable that it's almost impossible to represent. Evolutionist Sir Fred Hoyle put it like this: the odds of life springing from non-life are 1 in 10 to the 40,000th power. That's 1 divided by 10 with 40,000 zeros. If those were the odds that your favorite team was going to win the Super Bowl, would you bet your life savings? Would you bet your soul? Regardless if you think we have a soul or not, Christianity claims that your soul is on the line. Your immortal soul, the thing inside of you that makes you you. Jesus put it like this: what would it profit a person if they gained the whole world but they lost their soul? Heaven and hell is what awaits. Why would you place your bet on an impossibility? And to that, you might say, what's so impossible about evolution?
Sir Fred Hoyle, he's the guy who coined the term Big Bang. He was the guy who came up with the term Big Bang. He said in a recent address at Caltech that no amount of time now being considered by evolutionists is remotely adequate to accomplish the formation of a higher living organism by chance. Such an event would be comparable to the chance of a tornado sweeping through a junkyard and assembling a fully functional Boeing 747. Possible or impossible based on the odds?
I think that has a lot of moving parts to it.
It seems to have been what has occurred.
I don't know if I agree with him saying that nothing could have done that in that time frame.
That young man is correct, and that's why we didn't work on this. Really, we didn't. It's been in the making for like billions of years. It all came together. I know all of these sequences are in order, and all these letters, they actually have intelligence which can actually be understood. But this just happened out of nothing. That is the lie of evolution that our kids are being fed and too many are consuming. In an effort to deny the existence of God, our kids are forced to believe in utter nonsense. And yet, so many do. Why is that? They are taught by adults who treat them like adults, who actually respect them and believe that they can grasp big ideas, as goofy as they happen to be. And we Christians aren't. I say, fa on silly youth groups and the nonsense and gross out games. Let's start respecting our kids and introducing them to big ideas because their souls depend on it. Houston, I think we have a few problems here.
Go ahead, Wretched One.
Besides the fact I'm wearing a cardboard helmet, Houston, you have got one of the biggest false teachers in the universe. Are you kidding? He is so rich.
How rich is he, Wretched One?
I can see his house from here.